Hello everybody, is Anything Works here, and welcome back to Pokemon Emerald Let's Play. Um, Last episode, I forgot what we did, so what had happened is that I was recording this episode right here until I realized I wasn't actually recording, and I forgot what I talked about during the episode, but I think last episode we went through Petalburg Woods, we got our new team member Taylor, defeated Roxanne, and I forgot to go over the Pokemon that you could get last episode, so we're gonna go and talk about them. My mouse is on the screen. So the first new Pokemon that you can get, very common, is Whismur. Whismur sucks. It evolves at level 20, which is nice, and then it takes forever to evolve into its final form, Exploud, from Loudred at level 42, and it's only good stat is HP. Other than that, it's really mediocre. Has a nice move pool, but so do a lot of other normal types, and you're just dealing with mediocrity for so long, only to get, well, more mediocrity. And despite it like being kind of threatening with Uproar early on, it's just not that good of a Pokemon to use. The next Pokemon that you can get is Skitty. Skitty's a 2% counter rate on the route, right of Rustboro. It's a shit Pokemon. Base stats roll of 385. Highest stats are HP and speed. They're base 70. It's not worth using at all. Again, good moveset, but again, so do most other normal types. And I cannot just recommend to stay away from it enough. It also evolves via Moonstone, which you won't be getting until after the 3rd gym. And if you think Delcat is bad, well, obviously it's pre-evolution. That's got to be much worse. Another Pokemon that you can get is Nincada. Something we can do in here. Also, I just got the Silk Scarf from that guy. Something we can do in there now, which boosts the power of normal type moves. Nincada is a pretty bad Pokemon, to be honest. It evolves at level 20, which is nice. Into I was going to say Shedinja. Well, yes, but it evolves into Ninjask level 20, which is extremely fast. It's a pretty good support Pokemon. It has speed boost. It learns Baton Pass. It gets Sword Dance. Really nice Pokemon, honestly, but it's kind of difficult to use. But if you are going to use it, I wouldn't recommend staying away from it. I say just be careful. I clicked Alt. That means I have to. There we go. Control P. Talk to this guy, gives you Flash, but we won't be needing it. At least not for right now. Like, yeah, the cave's dark, but it's pretty easy. But if you have an open slot in your party, at least one, you also get Shedinja, which is a Bug Ghost type as opposed to Bug Flying. Like Ninjask. Look, here's another new Pokemon. What I was about to talk about. It may be Bug Ghost, and the thing is that it only ever has 1 HP. The thing is, though, it has an ability Wonder Guard, which makes it so that it only gets hit by super effective moves or status or weather, which it can prove to be a pretty decent Pokemon. It's just kind of difficult to use, especially since it has 5 whopping weaknesses. None of them are too common, so it can't be that bad. Its biggest problem is that its moveset is utter garbage. It gets Shadow Ball by level up, but that even is not until really late. The last new Pokemon that you could have found back on the route, say east of Rustboro, is Abra. We saw one, on the top floor. Abra is a fantastic special attacker. Well, when it evolves into Kadabra, at least, because all it knows is teleport. But when you do evolve into Kadabra, it's a fantastic special attacker. Even if the moveset it gets is a bit shallow and it's extremely frail, its high special attack stat and speed make it incredibly worth using. If you can get it to evolve, which requires a trade, and/or let me see item, and/or no cheating, like you could do on emulator, with the universal Pokemon randomizer. You get Alakazam, more of the same. Okay, I didn't miss it. More of the same, but just better. So more new Pokemon we can find here are Zubat. Zubat, pretty common cave encounter. It's actually pretty good. Poison Flying is fantastic typing. It's resistant to fighting and bug, quad resistant actually, resistant to a good amount of types as well, immune to ground. It does have weaknesses to rock, I was going to say thunder, rock, electric, and no, not fairy, ice. Rock, electric, and ice, obviously flying type weaknesses, plus he added weakness of psychic, so it does have a good bit amount of weaknesses, but those types aren't really common, especially in Hoenn. And it's actually very good offensively, really fast. Crobat, its final evolution, despite being kind of difficult to get since you have to give it, since the Golbat has to have max happiness first, or really high happiness rather. It's kind of difficult to get, but very good Pokemon, and it finally gets Sludge Bomb in this game, which is physical. And Gen 3, of course. Another new Pokemon, Makuhita. Makuhita is pretty good. High attack stat, high HP, pretty beefy Pokemon. Kind of the opposite of Alakazam, actually. It falls into a fairly decent level, I think level 26, where it has insane HP and a really good physical attack, and plus has Guts as an ability, or Thick Fat, both of which are really useful. Both are pretty good. Overall, I'd recommend it. This is the letter that we're supposed to deliver to. This is the guy that we're delivering our letter to, Stephen Stone. He is the son of Director Stone. Forgot his name. I don't think he has a name though. I'll just call him Director Stone. But yeah, Makuhita, pretty good Pokemon. Another new Pokemon is Geodude up on the first floor as well. Geodude, very common cave encounter as well. You know, it's a decent Pokemon, but thing is, just like Kadabra, you can only fully evolve it with a trade, but unlike Kadabra, it's not really too good as Gravel or its middle evolution to really justify using. And the problem is, late game in Hoenn, there's going to be a lot of water types, and Geodude isn't, you know, obviously cut out for that being Rock and Ground. Golem's not a bad Pokemon by any means, it's just that I just recommend using it in other games, specifically Gen 2, maybe even Gen 1. This would be the game before Gen 4, where Rock types in general get a huge buff. So I really wouldn't recommend using it all that much, especially considering that Sturdy isn't good in this game because it only works on one hit KO moves, and it doesn't really get much to utilize for Rock Head. Another Rock type they can find is Rock Steel, Aron, or Aron. Aron has a good amount of weaknesses, having 2 quad weaknesses of fighting and ground and a weakness to water. Despite that, however, it has an insane amount of physical defense. In fact, I do believe it has the highest physical defense in the game. Only outclassed by Steelix, which isn't obtainable in this game through normal means outside of trading and such. So if you want a physical wall, you know, go for it. It also has a good move pool, but unfortunately, most of its good moves are special, and it has an abysmal special attack. Despite that, it gets Metal Claw, Rock Slide. I don't think Iron hits in this game, unfortunately, but it gets Rock Slide. It has its uses, and it's a pretty good physical attacker. It's just kind of difficult to use. It only evolves from Aron into Lairon at 32, and then Lairon into Aggron at 42, so it's kind of difficult to use in that regard as well. Mind you, the 5th gym leader, the highest level that they have is level 32, so yeah. Although the type's normal, so can't be too bad. Talk to Mr. Stone. Director Stone, you get an EXP share after delivering the letter to Steven, which is very useful, and I do recommend getting it, especially if you want to get a new team member, but they're pretty weak. Let's see here. What Pokemon am I missing? I am missing 2 Pokemon. One is version exclusive to Ruby only. That is Mawile. It is a Steel type. Steel type's usually good, but its stats are terrible, and despite the fact that it has a good ability in Intimidate, overall, I still would not recommend using it that much. Its moveset is very piss poor. And even in the remakes where it's Seal Fairy, it's only good because of its Mega Evolution. So, wouldn't recommend using it. The other Pokemon is exclusive to Sapphire and Emerald. While it isn't great or good even, it's better than Mawile. Sableye. We encountered one in the cave, actually. Sableye is a Dark Ghost type, which doesn't have any weakness in this game, fun fact. It would get a weakness to Fairy in Gen 6, but you know, whatever. Overall, it's more offensive than Mawile. Still isn't good. Its moveset is pretty bad. But if you're struggling with Raleigh, the Doofer City gym leader, you know, the island that we're on right now, if I'm not mistaken, none of the trainers, and specifically Brawley, has no moves that can attack Sableye. So if you're struggling, I most definitely recommend getting it, just using it for here, and then, you know, dumping it later. There's 2 other new Pokemon that we can get here now that we have the Old Rod. One of them is Magikarp. Magikarp's common, you know, fish Pokemon. It's terrible, it's bad. Widely considered to be one of the weakest Pokemon of all time. Easy to see why. It evolves into level 20 though into Gyarados, which is a fantastic physical attacker, has Intimidate for an ability, and very good. Unfortunately, its stab type water is special in this game, and its special attack is like base 70, base 60, which isn't really good at all. It doesn't get any stab flying type moves outside of Hidden Power, which is luck based. Still a good Pokemon, but you also aren't getting a water type move until after the 5th gym, where you get Surf. So it's kind of difficult to use on this game, but you have Dragon Rage and Bite to hold you over until then. The only other move it gets by level up before then is like Leer, which is so weird. The other Pokemon, much better one in the long term in my opinion, is Tentacool. Tentacool has a fantastic special defense stat, pretty good, I was going to say physical defense, no, it's actually very physically frail. Also, it's a pretty decent special attacking stat, especially when it evolves into Tentacruel, which while it's fairly late and it doesn't get a good attacking move until Bubble Beam at level 25, if you just, give it the EXP share, let it hold on to that until then, you'll probably be a bit surprised by how much mileage you'll be getting out of it, especially since it also gets Sludge Bomb, obviously, by TM, even if its physical attacking stat isn't the best. You can also run stuff like Ice Beam on it, and it gets Barrier by level up. It also is a user of Supersonic, so overall it's a pretty good Pokemon to use. It's just a bit rough to use in the beginning. And now that we're finally done with all those bios, let's talk about Pokemon. That took 11 minutes, man. We can finally get in the Dewford Gym, which uses fighting types. So, yeah. There's a good amount of trainers in here. I will say, though, even if you, defeat all the trainers, fight all the trainers, before getting into the gym, you're probably still going to be a bit under-leveled for the gym leader. But the thing is, the game doesn't stop you from going to Slateport after you deliver the, the letter to Steven Stone. So you can go to the beach, voice crack, Slateport, train there. Hell, you can, even go to gyms 3 and 4 before defeating Brawly. So I guess if you want to do it that way, go ahead. I will say, however, that in order to challenge the 5th gym, you need to have 4 gym badges, or the first 4 gym badges, I think specifically. So can't skip out on Brawly entirely, but overall, Brawly isn't that difficult. But if you go in underprepared, he can be. Also, every single last one of these trainers use Makuhita, Machop, and Meditite. That's what Brawly uses as well, believe it or not. He doesn't have Meditite in Ruby and Sapphire. He just has a Machop and a Makuhita, which is weird because Makuhita is his ace, but the Machop is level 19 in Ruby and Sapphire. Don't know why that is. They swap levels for the 2 Pokemon in Ruby and Sapphire. Like, he even uses Machop first in Ruby and Sapphire, but I digress. Oh, god damn it. Anyway, so this is the last trainer for Brawly's gym, or the Dewford gym, I guess I should say. But before we fight Brawly, I'm not going to go to Slateport because, I don't know, I guess I want it to be a bit of a challenge if it ends up being one. I'm going to go ahead and fight the 2 fishermen that are north of here. I think Route 105 is what it's called, if I'm not mistaken. Also, there's no difference between the Pokemon you can get right now. Route 105, Dewford, or Route 106, if I'm not mistaken. So, don't worry about that. I guess if you're doing Nuzlocke. This is Route 106, right? Route 107. This is Route 106, huh? I guess we never know. Also, Tentacool gives out good experience. Don't know why, but it does. So this is Route 106. Okay, so this is Route 106. I'm just getting routes mixed up. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, nice. Anyways, I gave the Silk Scarf to Taylor because it's a normal type. It has quick attack. No shit, it gets quick attack. It already has it. It already has it. Oh yeah, also in the last episode, Torchic evolved. Haha. Anyways, let's go ahead, save here just in case, because Brawly can be a bit tough. I'm Brawly, Dewford's gym leader. I've been turned to the rough waves of these parts, and I grow tough in the pitch black cave. So you wanted to challenge me? Let's see what you're made of. Let me see what you're made of. Not gonna give him that Chuck Conroy voice, but I digress. Anyways, Brawly, second gym leader. His fighting type starts out with the level 16 Machop. Probably won't one-shot this even with a level 19 tail. Never mind, I guess I would have. Okay, seismic toss. Alright. So yeah, he has one super potion if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he has two. Not really too sure. We'll find out. But regardless, it's nice if he uses it on the Machop because his Makuhita is pretty threatening. He's going to send out his Meta type next. It usually only ever uses Focus Punch, which is weird. But it also has Reflect and Light Screen if it's going against a Pokemon that isn't super effective against, or it doesn't see a kill with Focus Punch, I guess, entirely. Ooh, Double Team. Double Team is nice. I rarely ever use it, but it's better than Growl. I remember Trevor Connor's reasoning for not giving Absol Double Team was like, oh, because it's overpowered, it's cheap, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? You're fighting AI. He also doesn't give his Lapper Shield Kroll. Instead of saying, oh, it's very inaccurate, he just says, oh, it's cheap. It's like, whatever. So he's probably going to use Bulk up here. Ooh, he uses Vital Throw. Vital Throw never misses, but it always goes last. But regardless, should be okay here, assuming he doesn't have another, let's say TM, another potion. Oh! Double Kick is more powerful here, even compared to Peck. Peck is 70 because of being super effective. Double Kick is a 90 because of Stab. So I don't know if this will kill, but it might. Okay, it doesn't kill, which is fine. Alright, he's gonna use Vital Throw. We should live, unless it's a crit! Okay. Very lucky critical hit survival. I had an ordinary. Didn't know that. This is scary. I need one crit to take this out. Although I live even a crit, so assuming he doesn't use bulk up here, he's probably going to go for a random move. But I'm pretty sure he's going to go for a Vital Throw because he sees a kill there. Okay. So as long as he doesn't crit. Also, I don't want to use Ember, despite Makuhita having better physical defense, because it could burn, and his Makuhita specifically does have Guts instead of Big Bat. I usually don't use items in battle, but he had 2 super potions, so I figured why not. And there you go. Whoa, wow. You made a much bigger splash than I expected. You swamped me. Okay, you've got me. Take this gym badge. A measly under 2,000 Poké Dollars, or pocket money, or whatever. Good God. Also, the gimmick for the gym obviously was that lights up more trainers you fight, because I don't know, because you can use flash outside of battle. And he gives us bulk up, which raises your physical defense and your physical attack, opposite of Calm Mind, which you don't get until much later into the game. Actually, 7th gym leaders. That's right, I said leaders. There's Brawly. We almost had a bit of a scuffle there, but turned out better than I thought it would have. Luckily, I had a super potion. Let's go ahead and heal up. Let's talk to Mr. Viney so we can head out. So we go. So we can bring our happy S's over to Slateport. I love that song. Oh, we made lady. We made land to Slateport. Talk to this girl right here. She gives you soft sand, which raises the power of ground type moves. You have a Marshtomp, which you should by this point. It's actually really good. I'm not gonna fight the trainers here just yet. Got a potion because I'm actually gonna get a new team member soon. Hip hip hurrah! And here's Slateport City, one of my favorite songs in the game. It goes hard, as people would say. Okay, so for some reason, that girl, she only gives you a Soothe Bell if you have a Pokemon with high happiness, which is weird because you'd want the Soothe Bell to, higher your Pokemon's happiness, to raise your Pokemon's happiness. There's also shops here. This girl gives you the powder jar. That guy, he's for something later on. This guy, he doesn't give you anything. This guy though, He's the energy guru. He sells all these expensive vitamins. I don't recommend buying them. If your Pokemon has high happiness, she gives you a ribbon for it. This guy, this is for secret bases. Same with the girl up there earlier. Or was it a guy? Yeah, it's a guy. He gives you dolls. Don't recommend buying them, especially if you're playing an emulator like me. Buy too much, there's nothing to buy there. Anyways, Roxanne's calling. Pokemon challenges, man. But, so we have a line here at Slateport, the museum. We want to find Captain Stern. Because we were supposed to deliver these, well, these goods, Devon goods, to Captain Stern. The Devon Corporation. Talk to this guy. He's not Captain Stern, but his name's Doc. Talk to him for some reason. Hey, like an actual RPG, you have to talk to people. And the museum opens. If you don't have 50 Poké Dollars, she'll let you in anyway. Only if T-Mach was here. Talk to this guy, though. Team 46, Thief. This is the guy that is confirmed to be the same guy in Rustic Tunnel. He's here even after the rest of the Team Agro members go away, so... yeah, I think that's actually how you're supposed to talk to him to know that you can get Thief. Did I give Combuskin? I didn't. Okay, so I did this in the original quote-unquote recording when I wasn't actually recording. So I'm going to go ahead and give Combuskin Rock Tomb. Not Bulk Up, because it actually learns it by level up, which Chococonor forgot. I don't know, admittedly that was kind of funny, and he never used it. So he kind of wasted TM. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of Focus Energy. I'm going to give it Rock Tomb just for coverage against flying types. So you don't really have a way of dealing with flying types right now, at least with super effective damage, and Combuskin is semi-bulky enough to take a flying type super effective hit. So this is Captain Stern. And these guys want to rob us to take the Devon goods? I don't even know why they want the Devon goods. Anyways, another Team Aqua battle ensues. This is our, what, third encounter with Team Aqua? Third battle, I think. Third or fourth battles. Anyways, this is where they start using their signature Pokemon, Carvana. Let's just go ahead and... I think I can Rock Tomb, it'll kill. So... oh, it doesn't. So the reason why I want to use Rock Tomb is because... oh, that works. It's because Carvana always have the ability of Rough Skin, where... whatchamacallit, they have the ability of Rough Skin, which makes it so that if you physical... like, if your move makes physical contact... not physical attacks, but if they make physical contact, it deals like, what, 1/16 of your health or something. I don't know, it's marginal, but yeah, I'd rather avoid damage where I can possible. So yeah, they mainly use Carvana and Sharpedo, while, you know, also using Zubat, Golbat, Poochyena, Mightyena. Now, Rock Tomb should definitely kill. Only issue with Rock Tomb is that it has 80% accuracy, so 1 out of 5 times it'll miss. Okay, seriously? Like, come on, man. Luckily, Zubat here doesn't learn wing attack until level 21. Can we stop? Like, Christ, I said 1 in 5, not 3 in 5. Yeah, that's about the only issue with Rock Tomb, and it's kind of prevalent. Like, when using it, but it's not too bad. Wait, how much damage did that do? 3 damage. That did... okay. Let's relax. When I meant 3 damage, I meant the Rough Skin. Anyways, the leader here, Archie. And he's like, oh, we're team... oh, God, we love the scene. Oh, yeah, whatever. Now it's handed over the Devon goods, and we don't get anything for it. Lovely. Look at these here. SS title. Submarine Explorer 1. The SSN. Also, why doesn't this have the quotation marks? Yeah, whatever. SSN obviously reference to Kanto is obvious. You can look around here. You know, nothing of real any real value. This guy Scott, the dick, was like, "Oh, I'm sorry to waste your time." Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, go in here. I think this is Battle Tent. Yeah, it's a Battle Tent. You can do like battles in here and stuff. Scott owns these. I really wouldn't recommend doing it though. The prizes in here aren't worth it, but go in here at the very least to get TMs. That's Torment. Makes it so that your opponent can't use the same move 2 times in a row. It's kind of useful, especially in those locks, but for a regular in-game playthrough, I really don't think it's all too useful, to be honest. But hey, you do you. Hey, it's Professor Birch. This is the only time you see him outside the beginning of the game. He doesn't even appear here in Ruby and Sapphire, which is weird, but no, whatever. Oh, I forgot. So we are getting a new team member here. Combuskin out, so I wanted. So let's just run around here. I'm gonna save, in this case it doesn't get a new nature, because to be honest, the new team member that I'm getting kinda sucks. I used it in my original Sapphire Let's Play. I thought, no, why not use it again? As for a little throwback, turned out to not be that bad, but it sucks, especially in the beginning. Come on. No, it's not that. There are a good couple of new Pokemon here, which is Electrike. Electrike is a bit of a mixed bag. It doesn't get an electric type move until a while. It evolves at level 26, which is a fair enough level. But the electric type move that it does get is Spark, which is actually pretty powerful, better than Thundershock. Overall, though, it's semi-decent, although I really wouldn't recommend using it that much. It's just a lot better electric types. None of which are Minun. Minun sucks. It's a defensively based counterpart to its counterpart Plusle, and overall, both Pokemon aren't very good, but Minun's worse because of the fact that it's more defensively oriented instead of offensively. Okay, why am I running into so many Minuns? The only new Pokemon that you can find is Gulpin, pure poison type, evolves at level 26 as well. It has a pretty versatile moveset. It gets Yawn to start with, which is really nice. Also gets Sludge by level up, so you won't be struggling that much for poison type moves. Also gets Acid, of course. Overall, pretty decent Pokemon. You can also find Oddish here. Okay. I'm going to Bulbapedia for this. Bulbapedia. Route 123. Another Pokemon you can find. Route 110. Whoops. I don't know why I thought 123. Actually, I do know why. That's because of a ROM hack I was playing. So, okay, what am I saying? Okay, so another Pokemon you can find is Oddish. Oddish and its evolutions, Plume, Vileplume, they aren't really that good, unfortunately. No, I wish I could recommend them more, but their movesets are pretty bad, and despite the fact that they're, decent, in my opinion, at the very least, they're good Pokemon. Vileplume, Grass Poison is a great type. Unfortunately, it's just that it takes forever to get a decent moveset, and overall, it's just not worth using. You can also get Blossom, but it's just worse Vileplume because it doesn't, have this the poison type, and it has just more weaknesses overall outside of, not being weak to Psychic, and it's more defensively oriented, which doesn't make any sense. All it does is take out 10 points from special attack and into special defense. And as I'm looking at Bulbapedia, the Pokemon I'm looking for is 2%, which is weird because I thought it was the opposite in Emerald. I thought it was 15%. I was about to say 20%. I thought it was 15%, but it's not. There it is. Plusle. I used Plusle back in my Pokemon, let's say Silver, back in my Pokemon Sapphire Let's Play. Turned out to be a pretty decent member of my team. It just kind of sucks to begin with because it doesn't really have any electric type moves to start with, but if it worked last time, I'm sure it can work now. Again, it's more offensively oriented than Minun. For that, it's better for it. It's actually pretty decent, special attack. There we go, caught it. And what nature is it? I'm not going to look for another one, but Rash, that's really good. It's a special attack, lower special defense. Yeah, it doesn't have a single attack and electric type move, which is kind of booty, but that's what the EXP shares for, baby. So yeah, I'm going to use Plusle again because I enjoyed using it last time. Let me look at its moveset here in Gen 3. it gets Spark at level 19. Jesus Christ, that is bad. Okay, well, that being said, however, I'm going to go ahead and end off today's part here. It's half an hour. Luckily, I've been recording. Next episode, you guys, we'll be heading up towards, more Route 110. And I do believe we're also going to be taking on a third gym leader. So regardless, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Anything Works, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye, everybody.